Hello and welcome back to Golf Loops. This is episode 6, PGA Championship review. Today we're giving you the rundown on everything that went down at the PGA Championship at Aronimink at the weekend. So if you listened to our preview pod, we asked a few big questions. Could Scotty Scheffler defend his title? Could Rory McIlroy keep his major run going? Could Jordan Spieth or Ricky Fowler give us a bit of magic? Would it be an American winner again? Or would the PGA Championship surprise us? Well, it certainly surprised us, big time, because the winner was Aronimink. Aronimink from England won his first major championship at Aronimink Golf Club, or as we're calling it, the Mink. And the Mink was not messing about. This was not a birdie fest, this was proper major championship golf. The rough was thick, the bunkers were dangerous, and the greens were off the charts. Fast, sloping, awkward, and very good at making world-class golfers looking slightly daft. Now, some might say the greens were too tricky, but Aaron definitely didn't think so. So birdies were hard to come by, and going into the final round, there were loads of players still close enough to win. The leaderboard felt less like a leaderboard and more like a traffic jam. Every birdie mattered, every bogey hurt, and the Mink was biting. Aronimink handled it brilliantly. He finished on 9 under par, 3 shots clear of Jon Rahm and Alex Smalley. And his final round was superb. A 65 with the Wanamaker Trophy waiting at the finish. And here's a great little bit of history. Rai became the first Englishman to win the PGA Championship since Jim Barnes in 1919. And now, Long Jim was a big guy at 6'4" or almost 2 metres tall. So maybe the giant Wanamaker Trophy was designed just for him. Now, Aaron was a surprise winner, but not a total shock. He's not some nobody who came out of nowhere. He's been a top 50 golfer for a number of years and has been slowly making his way to the top. And he has a great backstory, you see. Some players were designed for greatness and dominated in the junior game. People like Tiger and Rory. But that wasn't Aaron. He was always good, but he struggled away on development tours, making consistent improvements to get to where he is today. If you watched the coverage, you would have noticed a couple of things about Aaron. He wears 2 gloves and he uses iron covers. Now, that is bonkers for a tour pro. So why does he do it? So for the iron covers, well, it's a really cool little story. Aaron's family weren't wealthy growing up, but they always tried to make sure he had good equipment to progress his golf game. At one time, his dad brought him a brand new set of Titleists, which they couldn't really afford. So they decided to use iron covers to ensure they stayed in the best condition. Really cool story, as it's such a contrast with so many golfers who maybe take for granted all the shiny new gear they get. How do you look after your clubs? I know I could be much, much better at it. And for the 2 gloves, well, that really is kind of weird. The only other pro I know who does it is Tommy 2 Gloves Gainey, but Aaron started when he was 8 years old and just thinks it gives him a better grip. And who are we to question that now? So how did it go for our pre-tournament favourites? First up, Rory. Well, Rory came into the PGA Championship with a huge storyline. He had won the Masters and he was trying to keep his major momentum going. But his week started badly. He opened with a 74 and that is not what you want in a major. But Rory did what Rory does. He fought back, he shot 67, 66 and 69 over the next 3 rounds and finished tied 7th at 4 under par. So was it a disaster? No. But it wasn't what Rory was looking for. He wants to win majors. Top 10s are of no interest to him now. But it just wasn't the big Rory charge that some people were hoping for over the weekend. Almost, but the problem was the slow start. And in a major, you can play 3 really good rounds and still spend the whole week chasing. That was Rory's tournament. He did loads right, he got himself back into it, but at the Mink, once you were behind, it was really tough to properly catch up. Next, Scotty Scheffler. Now, Scotty was a defending champion, number 1 in the world, and one of the clear favourites. He actually started well. He opened with a 67, which put him right in the mix. But then he never quite took control. He finished tied 14th at 2 under par. Now for most golfers, tied 14th in a major would be fine. But for Scotty, people almost go, quiet week. Which is maybe a bit unfair, but it shows how amazing he has been. Scotty was good. He just was not Scotty the Robot good, and it was his putting that was really the problem. Like many players, he just couldn't get his head around those funky greens at the Mink. Now, in the preview, we also mentioned Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler. Jordan had a solid week and finished tied 18th at 1 under par. 1 point early on, it looked like he might contend, but it ended up being 2 up and down. Not amazing, not terrible, very Jordan. Ricky finished tied 60th at 4 over par. Not the week he wanted, especially after we gave him a little shout out in the preview. But Ricky is still one of those players fans love watching, and Golf Loops remains emotionally committed to the Ricky comeback. We also talked about the PGA Club Pros in the preview. 20 of them get to play if they qualify. Well, no fireworks from them this week, no Michael Block fairy tale, but hats off to Ben Kern, who was the only one to make the cut, which takes some doing on a track as tough as the Mink. So did you watch much of the action at the weekend? Message us on Spotify or Instagram and let us know what you thought. We'd love to hear from you. And what can we take away from the 2026 PGA and Aaron Rise win? Well, I think we can say that being humble and working hard can pay off, and the golf ball does not care who the favourite is. This has been Golf Loops. Until next time, grip it and rip it. See ya.